Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hear you now, yeah. Sorry, my mistake. That's my end,
Awesome.
sorry.
Awesome. No worries. Appreciate having you here in today's call. How are you doing today?
I'm really well, yeah. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Where are you best? Are you best in Switzerland today?
I'm actually in the Czech Republic at the moment. I'm just down near the second city, Brno. I had a few meetings in Prague last week, so I'm down in the Czech Republic. Yes, but we sit in Zug, just outside of Zurich, and also based in London as well. We have a small office in both. We're not very big. There's only four of us in total in the company, so we're not very big.
Got it. I think maybe the best call to start the call with is just to give me better background on you, Simon, and on the current funds that you have already started with. And in the end of this call, if we can help, I will share a bit of what we do.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. So Vedanti's been going 7 years now. We have 41 million sterling under management. Our structure at the precise second is an SMA model. So we have an regulatory umbrella company that sits above us, and they provide regulatory cover for all our clients. Our clients are institutional and professional only. Makeup is we have 4 family offices, 4 funds, 3 asset managers, high net worth, and a couple of corporates. That makes up the 41 million. We're just launching our hedge fund, so that should be up and running beginning of Q2. So we're going to have a hedge fund, and then that's going to run alongside the SMA model. So obviously clients can decide if they want the SMA structure or if they want the hedge fund structure. And I suppose just a little bit about the development of the sales side. So I should say, sorry, there's 4 of us. So there's myself, Nicholas, and Ilya, and Louise. I predominantly deal with the trading and the strategy development. Nicholas runs, it backs me up on that really, and also runs all the brokerage liquidity side, dealing with the clients. Ilya runs the business and the regulatory side, and Louise is office manager stroke executive assistant. So that's the makeup of the company. To go back to the development of AUM. So none of us actually have come out of financial legacy, really. Nicholas and Ilya have worked in the financial markets all their career, but more on the liquidity and brokerage side. I completely came out of a different industry and started trading in the Vedanti about 15 years ago. So the development of sales has been quite organic and lumpy, really. That's how I really describe it. And even though we like the very client focused, everyone exactly knows how we trade and what we do, so it's very client centric, very informative, very transparent, obviously through the SMA structure. It has been very slow going. So 7 years with only under 50 million is obviously not amazing, but it's not really what we've been focused on. It's just been slowly growing, and it's been through just organic stuff, through colleagues, through friends, through word of mouth, and basically how the sales would go. We would have no sales, and then a couple of clients, and no, so it's very drops out of the blue sky. So we'll just be like, oh, we've got a new client, and obviously still the same, timeline, lead time, I suppose, that you would do it is very long, lots of due diligence, lots of meetings. But the actual acquisition of finding the client has just been very not bad on our part, as I don't see it as a bad part of the business, but it's not been a corporate pipeline, as I call it. So it's not been a steady numbers game or a steady growth. But saying that, so that's the backstory of the sales. And sorry, I'm jumping about a little bit. And I should say that we have tried internal salespeople, external salespeople, introducers. So we have tried quite a few avenues, and for whatever reason, good people that we like, but it's just never come off. Basically, I think what the main thing that what shouldn't really annoy me, but what annoys me is that we employ someone or somebody's a consultant and getting paid and helps us, and then I find a new client and they bring in a few million, and it just it just sets me off. I'm like, well, hang on, that's not my job. I'm supposed to be insulated from all this. I should just be constant in trading and strategy development. But then and again, I'm not out looking, but it just develops and I find somebody, then I feel a bit resentment to the person.
Got it. So it feels like it's empty. That side, it's empty. You need like to have solution for it.
So at the moment, we just had a consultant leave. Again, who didn't bring anyone in. But anyway, that's fine. Good guy. We still like him, but yeah, didn't bring anyone in. But actually, over the last just 12 months, let me think, no, even maybe less actually, probably 8 or 9 months, it's slightly changed. So what's changed is that I got recognized in the Hedge Fund Journal top 50 rising stars on the Tomorrow Titans, I think it was titled. And that has really kickstarted a interest in us and a better pipeline of sales. So now we're on some distribution lists. We've got some with brand recognition, and we're now taking meetings, a few a week now, actually, which is quite amazing to us, seeing we probably had a few a month previously. So we are internally, carrying that momentum, and so that's great. Nicholas is taking the meetings, and I obviously come in when I need to come in, and so that's going really well. What we're trying to do at this precise moment is trying to take a step back and go, okay, we've employed a couple of salespeople who sat in the office with us, and we had the background, made some sales. We had the consultants, but it's not worked out. So what we've been trying to do is trying to think of a better strategic sales process and plan, and make it a bit more robust. So a bit more marketing, a bit more brand recognition, a bit more information about our strategy and who we are and what we do. We're still not asset gathering. We want client relationships. So we're still happy with a slow and steady progress. So we're trying to make it a bit more robust. And just before we speak, this is the final part, is what we found, I suppose, even through the 7 years, but recently, what's been happening is we will get a qualified lead in a sense. Then we get qualified lead, emails, I keep saying Skype, so old, a Zoom or a Google Meets meeting, and then we'll get an email and then a no, and that's the process. So we want to try and make that a bit more robust. Now, if that's sending them more content, or physically going to see them, or as we're speaking now, having somebody that has better relationships with the contact, so there's a bit more context, or a bit more substance to the lead. So we're trying to so as I said, we had not very, I keep saying it's not very bad, we had sporadic sales. Now we've got consistent pipeline. Now we're trying to get away from prospect, email, Zoom meeting, no, prospect, so we're trying to work that out, and obviously hence our conversation. So
yes, as I can see, you don't have any brand today for your fund, correct? You haven't built any brand on it, or what do you have? Do you have any brand on it?
So, we're trying to push Vedantu as the brand. So, websites, blogs, trying to get information out there. But the brand we're trying to push is that when we get the contact, we're trying to give them a look into how sophisticated we are, how that we do our due diligence, that actually we're quite advanced in the strategy and the development. So we're trying to not just say, look, we have good performance. That's it. We're trying to say that actually behind that, there's a lot of work. There's not a lot of knowledge.
Okay.
But so that's what we're trying to do. And then obviously as the fund launches, then again that's another reason for our phone call, because we don't have any because we're doing it ourselves. Obviously we don't have institutional knowledge in that sense, or financial literacy. All our efforts is to make sure that the fund's correct, all the regulatory stuff correct, and we've not put in place any marketing for it yet. We've not put any place in any sales process yet. So again, hence another reason for our call. Not only is it a pipeline into providing clients, but it's also to help us develop a strategy for a fund launch as well. So
totally understood. So the 42 million that you have already raised right here, what have you done to raise the 42 million?
So now, as I said, that's just come from, we fell in our laps in a sense. That's just through colleagues, through friends, through word of mouth. It's anything from
so it was more from connections, more from family members,
networking,
friends, right?
Networking, connections. Occasionally we get someone through the website. We got a high net worth family office that came through the website, did a contact page. So and obviously we trace back where that all came from. But yeah, it's just networking, it's just contacts, none of it.
Got it. And what the drawdown right here for the strategy? What the best and worst cases for the drawdown?
So the drawdown has in the past been a little bit large. So 28% has been the biggest over 5 months, I think it was. I can send you all the figures and all the drawdown figures, and so you have that knowledge. So I say we can explain drawdowns all within risk, and I think that story is quite interesting because it tells also the development of risk management as well as the development of our strategy. So, but we've been successful on the performance front. We think we're have a great strategy. So it's obviously speaking to you is obviously you have to be interested in us and see if you like us as well, but obviously the same to you. But yeah, as I said, it's helping with the pipeline, and then it's helping with fund launch and strategy for that, really.
Got it. And why do you want to raise capital now, and how much you want to raise exactly?
So as I said, so there's no reason why we want it exactly now. I think it's because, as I said, because we've had this jump in sales contacts because of the article and because of the distribution lists and the institutions that we are speaking to now. We obviously want that to be better. So that's a reason. There's obviously the fund launch, which obviously is imminent, so we need that. So that's a reason. And we are looking so we're looking probably in the next 12 to 18 months to raise 100 million, and then beyond that maybe another 100 up to 200 million. So yes, that's what we're looking for, another 100 million within the next 12 to 18 months.
Okay, 100 million for the next 2 to 3 months.
Sorry, 12 to 18 months. Which is the next 3 months.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. If I could have that in the next couple of months, it'd be amazing.
Got it. Okay. All right. I totally understand right now where you're coming from and what the picture right here. So it feels like there is something that you are missing, correct? Like you have figured out the first, the second, but there is nothing in the middle. That's make sure that you will have completely done for you sales process from generating interest until you close in the founding capital. I totally understand it. And for the second side, how it's going for the negotiation side with the investors? Do you have any team who is right there to negotiate how to be on the line to negotiate the deals with the investors?
So that's just Nicholas directly. We only have just over 20 clients. We don't have, it's not many in a sense. So yeah, so Nicholas deals with them on a day-to-day basis. Just on that side, do we leverage our current client base? Probably not as much as we should. They've, most of them been with us a long time. Most of them are quite conservative in the sense of being pushed on the sales front. We just really leave them alone. Obviously, we've been doing a bit more because we'd like them to either move into the fund or put some more money into the fund. So that's been a few conversations with the current client base. But but Nicholas deals with all that, and that's all done internally.
Okay, and what the close rate? Do you have any numbers on the close rate and on the numbers on how many leads you are getting and what the close rate in the total?
So so Nicholas and I had a meeting about this the other day. So we don't. The reason being is because we have so few numbers. We had so few numbers that really generating any data from that was completely irrelevant. Now we've said from August onwards, now we've been generating 4 to 5 meetings a week. We're now able to get a bit of a pipeline, and then in the next 3 to 6 months, we'll be able to go over the data and see about who we're speaking to closing. So at the moment, we've probably got about 42 clients on our pipeline. That we're speaking to, all obviously at different stages, and some are a little bit closer than the others. But yeah, so we're probably going to need probably another 3 to 6 months before we can work out from the data if how that's worked out in close rates.
Got it. And for the negotiation side, you have a guy who doing that, correct? He keep following up with them and provide all the materials until they will provide to him yes or no, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Yes.
Okay. Got it. And right now, do you think that you need more branding, or do you need more traffic to your own firm?
I think we probably need more branding if we were gonna weight it. I think more branding. I think making the sales process more robust, as I said, not just having it the contact email meeting email no. So I think more content, more branding, rather than the number of people coming in. Yeah, I think more branding.
Got it. And so you want to raise a 100 million right here. That's what you have mentioned to me. And if you raise a 100 million, how things would be for you from there? Where can we see your fund from there?
So so on scalability, I think that having that amount, that would obviously mean bigger offices. It would mean more people. And I just think it would allow us to, with a fund structure, allow us to grow and, be able to do different things. It would be able to jump. I think it would jumpstart, the business that would obviously be a different level to where we are at the moment, because we're a little bit, mum and pops in a sense, with the 4 of us, all wearing different hats and, and being a bit more entrepreneurial, which we do like. We think that we can, shift and we can move quickly and change things. So we like how we've got here. We just think that we need to leverage where we are right now. We're at a bit of a crossroads, I think, of where we are.
Got it. And do you think that you can raise a 100 million from what you have today of clients, of current prospects?
No, I think that unless, again, unless we strike gold and one of them comes off with, a really big allocation. But I don't think that will happen, because obviously that, if we've got, round number, say we've got 50 million, no one's going to give us another 50 million, because then that's, 50% of our overall AUM. So I believe that it's step up. So as in, we started with high net worth clients, then ultra high net worth, then moved into institutional. And I think at the moment we are, I don't know how the exact word, but as in low level seems a terrible word, but as in lower level institutional 1 to 5 million allocation. And then I think that, the next step up is, higher allocation in institutional. And then obviously and then you move up through that scale. So I don't think that we could get to 100 million with a current prospect list. But I think that through, a slow development of our process, I think we can get there. But I think that you need to go through the steps to be able to do that.